Hey VC, it's me Roger back down in the studio. It's been a few weeks since I've done a real vinyl update, and so I got a stack of stuff to show, and some folks sent me some VCLT, which I want to acknowledge. Yeah, I was in the hospital the other day. Folks on Facebook were really nice, and I'm fine. To be honest, I have a disease. I have Crohn's disease, which is an incurable autoimmune deficiency disease. I guess I have to get used to going to the hospital from time to time. But hey, that's life. It could be worse. Cheers. Some really hilarious comments on Facebook. I'm sure my family were like, who the hell are these people? I'm having a left-hand brewing milk stout. Yeah, so anyway, sorry for the drama. So Jeff, Glowing00cabbage sent me this some time ago, actually, but I finally got around to playing it recently, and last night, actually. This is his band, Tire Fire, Aimless. Cassette put out on Little L Records, Callum Brown's label. Callum used to make videos, not so much anymore, but Jeff, of course, did the artwork, which is really cool. Jeff's an amazing guy, and this is really interesting, wild music. I can't say I'm a big fan of cassettes. I was looking at this, and it's like, what does it say? The Children's Talking Bible. It's been spray painted over. Anyway. Cool stuff, Jeff. Thanks so much for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. There's only 25 of these. So, it's a rare object, and I will treasure that very much. And I also got a package from DJ Trish, her seasonal mixtapes, Clam Jam 2016, and Eclectic Elements 2016. I saw where you were having problems with your CD burner, and some discs didn't play. These played fine. I really appreciate it. She sent me this really funny. She sent me some stickers. DJ Trish. Callie's Juice Box. And Bayhead Cheese Shop and Bottles too. Sounds like my kind of store. No, probably not the best for me. But no, this is great. This looks like from a New Yorker cartoon collection, maybe. Long-time subscriber of the New Yorker, if only for the cartoons, although the writing is often very good, but the cartoons are what keeps it coming back. Anyway, so this is great. So check this out. People all over the world are asking themselves, how can I get a record collection the size of Roger Coleman's? Too funny. Thank you, Trish. I really appreciate you thinking of me. And I'm gonna send you something for Christmas. Here's the VCLT. Here's the VC. Still rocking. All right. Records. The new Opeth, Sorceress. I pre-ordered this thing, the big limited edition wooden box set, but it of course didn't arrive until weeks after release date, so I had to go and buy, this is the pink vinyl version of it, and I also got the CD with the bonus tracks. What is there to say? I am a total Opeth fanboy, so of course I had to get it, and it's a little heavier than Pale Communion, and some wicked guitars on this, but it's a prog record. It's a metal tinged prog record, and I think Ockfeld's a genius, and he can do whatever he wants. The two bonus tracks that are on the vinyl are kind of interesting. I can see why they weren't part of the album, but they sound more kind of jammy and more like the rest of the band had some input into it. And the song "The Seventh Sojourn" Strange Brew was co-written with Frederick Ackerson. I'd kind of like to hear them go in more of a like band-driven direction. Like if you're gonna do prog, like give the musicians in your band room to do stuff. Anyway, it's Opeth. What can I say? And so the big box, which just arrived this week. In fact, when I got home from the hospital, Miko at the Vinyl Corner did a big opening, and I advise you go look at that because I don't want to go through all this. There's this double CD and a DVD with a 5.1 mix, not a high-res stereo, which bums me out, and then like these posters, and then different colored vinyl in this nice wooden box with actual hinges and stuff, kind of nice details. How could I resist? What can I say? I am a fanboy. All right. What am I going to do with it? All right. So most of the rest of these, let's show this because I got this in the mail recently. Francis Bebey, Psychedelic Zanza, 1982 to 1984. This is the second volume of a compilation of Francis Bebey's music on Born Bad, this French label. I showed the first volume, which is called African Electronic Music, 1974 to 82, something like that, which is excellent. This is a little different. Psychedelic Sanza. The Sanza is like a kalimba, African thumb piano, and so there's all the music is sort of based around the zinging sound of this kalimba, and so much less of a Afro-pop disco-y dance record, more of like a more traditional sounding. There's some like electric bass and stuff. Really cool, really cool. Very different from that first volume, and highly recommended. Apparently out of print. I had to go on to Discogs to get this, and although I suspect they'll repress it at some point. Excellent stuff. So now the rest of this stuff is I've been doing a purge. I got quite a bit of trade at a couple places, so I got a bunch of stuff, and I still have credit left, so that's kind of nice. So I got the new Goat record, Requiem, on Sub Pop. 2 LPs, sort of like with their first record, World Music. There's a cool die cut here, so when you whatever, it's cool. I'm still a little on the fence about these guys, but I like this maybe the best of all their records that I've heard. There's a real like loose, stony kind of Amandul kind of thing going on, and they stretch out, and there's like some crazy guitar, and this works for me better than their previous records. Makes me want to go back and listen to those other ones. So. But yeah, Goat, that's cool. Their whole story is really interesting, and kind of like supposedly like live in a commune, and they perform in these masks, and pretty cool. All right, we're 10 minutes in here. I apologize in advance for the long video, but whatever. Suspense Electronica. This is I'm gonna forget his name. This is library music by a very famous Italian composer. He's mostly known for his kind of straight orchestral soundtracky kind of stuff. This is all like electronic stuff. Let's see, come on. I'm looking for the hype sticker. There we go. Alright, yeah, Piero Umiliani. So he goes under the name Tusco here for this Musica di Tusco. So, you know, short electronic cues. It's on this creamy white vinyl. Cool stuff. I mean, I'm a sucker for that kind of electronic library music. And so I went for it. And I was digging around in their sale bin, which is kind of hidden away over in Grimey's too. There's two locations for Grimey's, kind of not exactly next door to each other. So I'm digging around in there, and look what I found. I was thinking about ordering this online, but Vol's first album, self-titled, On Profound Lore. Their second album, most recent album, what is it called? Something to the Sky. Deeper Than Sky, I think it's called. Really terrific, awesome, like, what did Andreas Sonic Mainliner call it? Like progressive thrash or something like this. This is different. 2 LP, sprawling 2 LP thing of like, I guess, black metal. And Mike Scheidt, again, doing things with his voice that, you know, he doesn't really do with Yob. And then this guy, John Cobbett, freaking monster guitar player. Did the artwork as well. This is terrific. This is kind of metal I really can sink my teeth into, you know. And I found this in the sale bins, and I was like, you know, free, I'm doing a big trade, looked interesting, the Eric Roper cover and everything. And I looked them up online. And so, Burning Tree, is that what they're called? Burning Tree. Lammergeier. I meant to refresh my memory on who these guys are. I think they're Scandinavian, like kind of free noise jazz improvisers. So it's like instrumental. It's like saxophone and drums, but with a very like harsh metal kind of attack. Very much like this cover. Very, very, very intense. Very like I don't know, Bordeaux Magus. Reminds me of that a little bit. Yeah, cool. I kind of took a chance on that and was blown away. Found this in the sale bin too. This is a really cool record. Bexiga 70, a Brazilian band. I think this was distributed for Record Store Day recently, a couple of years ago, 2011. And I guess this had been sitting around. I looked on Discogs, there was one copy for over $100, and I was like, well, okay, I'll get this on sale for like $15. Well, actually free. I'll take this home for free. And it's cool. It's not like psychedelic Brazilian music. It's pretty much like straight up samba with horns and stuff like that, but really well done. Really excellent. Their second album, according to Discogs, also rare, but they have a new one called 3, I think. I'm going to try to track down because I think it's still in print. Yeah, cool find. This is awesome, and it's so awesome I'm gonna have to get the CD on Numero Group. This is Scientists, a place called Bad. 2 LPs, a distillation of a 4 CD set they put out, which I might have to get because this is great. It reminds me back in the day, back in the, you know, early mid 80s when I was a little punk rocker and hearing this stuff on college radio and wanting to get those singles and stuff, but you know, they're originally from Australia and then later moved to the UK, but you know, these imports were expensive, you know, just so this compiles like kind of their major works, and yeah, so like post-punk, garagey, psychedelic, yeah, Great stuff. Like I said, I need the CD because it has like all kinds of weird B-sides and stuff that I need to have. I wish they'd done like a 4 LP box. You know, sometimes they do big boxes. Anyway, cheers. All right, now this one. My memory is Teddy showed this, and it seemed so out of character that it stuck in my mind. And then maybe Zeke showed it. I don't know. I've definitely seen people show it on the Facebook page. So I finally was like, I still had some credit at this other place, and I was like, fine, I'm going to get this. Terry Allen Juarez, The Paradise of Bachelors Deluxe reissue. I mean, the packaging and the artwork. I mean, he's better known as a painter. This is like not really my thing, but I only listened to it once, and you know, country music. I don't know. It's tough going for me, but I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna go back and find that Teddy video and try to reconnect to what he. You know, I guess it's all about the words. You know, I need to just listen to the words. All right, here's another thing that like is not going to be for everyone, and you know, this chick gets a kind of a bad rap in the metal scene. Mercure Mausoleum. It's a live EP, literally recorded in like a medieval mausoleum with the children's choir and like acoustic guitar and stuff. And I was like, I have her other records. I might as well get this for free. And yeah, I like this. Is it black metal? I don't know. I don't care. It's ethereal and beautiful and dark, and you know, I'm no purist. Also got this at Grammys. A Goblin record I was missing, a reissue, obviously. Patrick. One of the classic horror movie soundtracks. Just in time for Halloween. I'm so not familiar with any of the movies. I'm not really a movie guy, but yeah, Goblin. I love those records. Also picked up this. I mean, God, I don't know if I would have paid cash money for it, but because I had all this trade, I was like, well, fine. Steven Wilson EP. What was it called? Nil Recurring. It was, I guess, outtakes from Fear of a Blank Planet. Originally came out in 2007. I actually like this quite a bit more than Fear of a Blank Planet overall. Robert Fripp plays on a track here, and it's Porcupine Tree at their heaviest. It's not Steven Wilson, it's Porcupine Tree. Yeah. What is there to say about that? Alright, that's it for brand new stuff. Saw this at the record show and passed on it, but it was still available at the store, and so you know, with some trade, I thought, well, you know, I really want this. Kailisa, I'm not sure. It's their debut album, self-titled album on Prank. Originally came out in what, 2002 or something. This is a 2007 repress on black vinyl. I don't care. It's cool. It completes my Kailisa album collection. This is before they had two drummers, but their sound is already like fully formed, and yeah, I really dig these guys a lot. I feel like Diana Birot showed this record, and I saw this at Grammys. So with my trade, I was like, okay, fine, I'm picking this up. Arthur Verocai reissue. Still has its hype sticker on it. Another Brazilian record, reissued on Kindred Spirits of the Netherlands. Yeah, again, not a psychedelic Brazilian record. This is more like a pop record with like horns and very 70s, very I like this. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I like it a lot, and definitely something I'm going to return to because it just has that 70s vibe, and he's singing in Portuguese, so who knows? It could be he could be singing the most ridiculous lyrics, and I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with me, people. All right, here's another one I found at Grimey's. Concert The Cure Live. Original UK on Fiction. I think I mentioned before my 80s collection is really lame. I have some Cure records, but I never had this one. And they were a damn fine live band, and this is from my favorite period, 1984. So, from their first records up through Faith, I guess. Yeah, nice find. A couple Blue Notes, although this is a retitled reissue. Herbie Hancock, Willie Bobo, Succotash. Originally released in 64, something called Inventions and Dimensions or something like that, under Herbie's name. So this is like a 70s reissue with a nasty scar on the cover. But the vinyl's great, and it's a great record, great 60s Blue Note session. It's just a, Blue Label 70s version. Here's another, here's a funky Blue Note. Funky Snakefoot by Alphonse Mouzon. This being the Funky Snakefoot. This is like a gatefold, of course, and actually a unipack, which is annoying. Yeah. This is from 70 something, 74, 78, I don't know. This has its moments, but it's pretty much as ridiculous as that cover, and I love it. Alright, this is cool. I saw several copies of this at the record show. They were all trashed, and they wanted $10-15 for it. I was like, no, not for trash. Anyway, the cover on this is not great. It's got a lot of sort of damage there, but otherwise pretty clean. The vinyl plays perfect, and this is such a beautiful record. Marion Brown, Geechee Recollections on Impulse from 1973. Leo Smith, Steve McCall, a bunch of people. Great. Marion Brown was really sadly unsung, I think. A peer of Archie Shepp. This is just great. What spiritual jazz? There's some singing. It gets out sometimes. It gets modal and grooving, and it has it all. It's great. It's really super happy to have this. I don't play the covers, so as long as the record plays. But here's a mint Black Saint I found. Harriet Blewett, the Clarinet Family from 1987. I've had this on CD forever, and it's really, really great record. Harriet Blewett, another kind of unsung saxophone player, and so it's like a bunch of clarinet players. Now, if you love the sound of the clarinet, you really need to check this out because, it's everything from contrabass clarinet to contralto to E-flat alto to soprano to, every model of clarinet that there is. And Harriet Blewett, genius. And then there's rhythm section, Fred Hopkins on bass and Ronnie Burridge on drums. The swings, this is like, I was reading the liner notes on this. And it's talking about black classical music and, trying to get away from the jazz derogatory kind of term. And, I was thinking about that, black classical music. Now, if anything, this is black classical music, and it shows how what we think of as jazz is just part of a continuum of what is more rightfully thought of as black classical music. And this is a freaking great record. It's got everything. It's like the history of black music all in one really stunning live performance. Really happy to have that on vinyl. Sounds amazing. All right, we're closing in on it here. Here's something that I've been sitting at Grammys for a while. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this home, for free. Dan Arbross, Duar Neves, Terra Nouvelle. It's on a French label, Hexagon. Here it looks like it might be some sort of singer-songwriter. Here it looks really proggy. I looked him up. He played with Alan Stivell of Celtic Harp fame. I was like, okay. And this is a really great progressive jazz rock kind of thing with some Celtic overtones. Some terrific, awesome, beautiful gatefold. Yeah, I was kind of blown away by that. And then later I found another Dan Arbross record from much later. Music for the Silences to Come on the Shinachi from 1987. This is from 70 something. This is clearly a decade later, and yeah, it suffers from some of that 80s Lindrum and stuff like that. Check out his cool double neck guitar though, and it's kind of in that more new agey instrumental jazz sort of thing, and so it's pleasant, but maybe a little bland. But yeah, interesting guy. All right, one more record. A reissue of a Japanese band. It was originally on Unicorn. Teruo Nakamura. Oh, Unicorn I think is the title. Yeah. Sorry. Teruo Nakamura, Unicorn. This is a reissue on Soul Brother. Interesting, kind of all over the place. So, he's a bass player, but he's got all these Americans like Steve Grossman and George Cables and Lenny White and Alphonse Mouzon and Roland Sanders Jackson. Some of this is super funky. I think that's why it's a really desirable label. I think this first track, Unicorn Lady, got a great break or something, and then it kind of goes into sort of more straight ahead stuff, so it's kind of all over the place. I can see why originals are desirable, but I'm happy with this reissue. Cool cover too, right? All right, that was a lot of records. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks again, Jeff and Trish, for your kindness, and thank you all for hanging out and your comments and your friendship, and yeah, take care everybody. I'll see you soon.